Hello and welcome to the Friendly Neighborhood History Channel, where we bring you history in a friendly, neighborly manner. And just remember, we provide history for all different kinds of content. And today I want to share something really special with all of you, as I'm sharing my screen right now. And I found a really great video by Ciaran, and he uploaded it a few days ago? Oh, it's actually 6 months old. It's got 81,000 views. Please go check it out. Like and subscribe and join his channel. And of course, if you haven't done so and you enjoy history and the way we do history here, long form videos every Monday and Friday, short content all the time, and our live streams Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Please like and subscribe and consider joining the Friendly Neighborhood History Channel. And there's our social medias as well. We have X, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, and a Substack where you can read my articles. So yes, if you are not subscribed, please do so. It really helps the channel grow. But I decided to do a reaction video, and I'm going to be doing it on the Presidents of the United States portrayed by Spongebob from Ciaran's channel. This is from about 7 months ago, so I'm fair using it, I guess, I hope. And I will be reacting to it, explaining it, giving it context, as he depicts all the presidents according to Spongebob, one of my favorite shows because I'm a millennial who grew up with that stuff. And of course, it combines two of my favorite things, the presidents and Spongebob. So, hope you really enjoy it, and let's get started. I'll say full screen on this. All right, so.
Your hands never! Perfect!
So that's George Washington, because Washington was like the commander of the Continental Army, and it's depicting the American Revolution, and it's a new SpongeBob thing, and I don't like new SpongeBob. Anything after, like, I think season 5 is just really just bad, but it is very accurate. You've got warfare, a general. Now you've got John Adams here.
Censorship!
It's what John Adams was known for, the Alien and Sedition Acts. He actually tried to censor people who were criticizing his foreign policy and his relations with France when he was president, and that's what he's best known for.
Prepare to be written! I'm doing it! I'm doing it! Yeah! Yeah! Think some of these! Think some of these! Almost there, and... done. Now let's see how it looks so far. The...
Classic SpongeBob, by the way, one of my favorite episodes, and Thomas Jefferson writing the Declaration of Independence, that's the context there. Jefferson also wrote the Northwest Ordinance and a bunch of other stuff that's really important to America, and probably would have had a bigger hand in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights if he had not been the ambassador to France at that time. James Madison, White House on fire, and I love SpongeBob's house being on fire. This is another great episode.
My house!
Madison never should have gotten the U.S. involved in the War of 1812, and what happened was the British, who were double-fisting the Napoleonic Wars on one end and the Americans on the other, burned the White House, and Madison barely escaped in time with his wife and the portrait of George Washington that she used one of the slaves in the White House to bring down. One of the most interesting stories in American history.
House is on fire! You keep to your territory and I'll keep to mine.
He's using a fancy accent, so it fits. James Monroe is known for the Monroe Doctrine, which banned Europe from settling and colonizing North and South America and the Western Hemisphere, so very accurate.
SpongeBob, I have a confession to make.
You're bald?
No,
I love SpongeBob. This is like real old SpongeBob. You can tell by the quality, and that's the only thing you can say about John Quincy Adams' presidency, because Andrew Jackson did everything. If they had like some sort of deal or bargaining or something like that, maybe SpongeBob and Patrick when they're fighting, and Henry Clay is this Squidward-like character trying to bring them together, that might have been a little bit better. Knowing John Quincy Adams for being bald is not good. This guy was a hero when he worked in the House of Representatives, never got anything done, never really got the fair shake as president that he wanted, and he was his own worst enemy a lot of the time.
I'm not bald!
Hey, you there!
Who, me?
Yes, you! Get out of town!
I love the get out of town. It's like when Patrick becomes trans. But no, that's referring to the Trail of Tears and Andrew Jackson kicking out the Native Americans despite the Supreme Court telling him not to do so.
The salty tear trail leads right in here!
Martin Van Buren enforced the Trail of Tears, and Trail of Tears, and that's where the trail comes from SpongeBob. Although that's kind of juvenilizing the deaths of thousands of Native Americans, the Cherokee. It's pretty dark. Every time that SpongeBob and Patrick go into Sandy's Dome, they have this happen to them where they run out of water and they are about to die. And that's William Henry Harrison being sick and dying only a month into his presidency, the shortest term president in U.S. history.
Ready? Promotion. I'm ready. Promotion.
First president to ever become. I think this is from the SpongeBob movie, which is for me. That's the liminal period where SpongeBob was great before that and really started to stink afterwards. But this is John Tyler becoming the first descendant president because another president died, and the Constitution didn't directly say that, but he set up a tradition that became part of the Constitution later with the 25th Amendment. So Tyler had some guts, and he did take that promotion.
It's Texas.
James Polk is known for a lot more. This is the guy that conquered the Southwest and California, got the Oregon Territory. Texas was already technically becoming part of the United States under him, so
Slaves, fetcheth me some nourishment.
Wig.
that happened to Zachary Taylor. Wow, they went through those quickly.
It's Texas.
Slave.
So yeah, Zachary Taylor had slaves, and they brought him some nourishment, and there was milk, and it had cholera in it. It was what's the word? Contaminated, and that's how Zachary Taylor died. Second president to die.
Slaves, fetcheth me some nourishment.
Wig.
I had to watch the Millard Fillmore one several times over just to see what he's actually doing there, but it's referring to the SpongeBob episode where he has the wig, one of my favorites, but he was a wig, and that's basically all there was, although he did kind of screw up things with the Compromise of 1850.
I'll better go greet the commoner.
Handsome Squidward works for Franklin Pierce because Franklin Pierce was a very handsome guy, and that's basically all you could say about him. He was a terrible politician, though.
Magic conch shell? Will I ever get married?
Maybe someday.
James Buchanan, the bachelor president, the only president to never get married, had his niece, Harriet Lane, as his first lady. And what's interesting is Buchanan may have been gay. It's Pride Month, so just throwing it out there. And James Buchanan may have been the first gay president, although who knows about presidents before him. But yeah, Buchanan apparently was engaged. It fell through. He was so upset about that the woman died shortly afterwards, he swore off ever dating again. So yeah, James Buchanan was the bachelor president. Definitely SpongeBob movie.
I'm free! I've been free!
Lincoln freeing the slaves. One long angry line letter.
One long angry line later.
I don't know why I tried to do that. I should have done it with the accent. But yeah, Andrew Johnson was just angry about everything and got impeached. Maybe where they put Mr. Krabs on trial with Plankton, that would have been a little bit of a better fit, but still.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Ulysses S. Grant.
Well put, General.
Ulysses S. Grant being the general.
We'll create a surprise military diversion and break through enemy lines. What say you? Yes.
Civil War references.
We shall ready ourselves immediately. A guy with a mustache.
So Rutherford B. Hayes is one of those kind of forgettable presidents. Again, made kind of a backroom deal to become president, so maybe a deal-making thing, maybe between Plankton and Krabs would have fit this a little bit better. But Hayes is more than just a guy with a mustache.
6 months.
Look at this.
Ooh, that's horrible because James Garfield died in office after 6 months. Didn't get much. He actually was so badly, he was injured, but what killed him was his doctor's malpractice and inability to actually take the bullets out of his back.
I'm a guy with a mustache.
That's so unfair to Chester Arthur. Maybe have him on a ship or something, the Flying Dutchman, because Chester Arthur built up the American Navy. But yeah, he also had mutton chops. The only president, I think, who had like serious mutton chops going on there. You see his Burnside's sideburns.
Give me that!
Never. Grover Cleveland, first term. It makes sense with the next one.
This can't be true. It's true! I've landed in money nirvana!
It's so true. Benjamin Harrison did a lot to help the rich.
Why, it tastes so good. I think I'd like to try it a second time.
So that always grossed me out. And I always wondered, could Neptune actually stomach that burger the second time? But yeah, Grover Cleveland came back around non-consecutive terms. Very fitting. That's so sad. William McKinley was such a good president. I mean, he's the reason America has Puerto Rico. He destroyed the Spanish Empire of the Spanish-American War. He got Hawaii. America was prosperous, wealthy, and strong. He had a lot of good programs, ideas for civil rights legislation. And he, again, is just known for being killed. Yeah.
This is what a real mustache looks like.
Teddy Roosevelt's really manly, burly thing. That's fitting. Maybe when SpongeBob had the teddy bear, that would have been fitting because the teddy bear was named after Theodore Roosevelt because he refused to kill a bear cub, and it was put out by a magazine, and then that became Vitoy. So I don't know if I like this one, but definitely Teddy Roosevelt was like that manly, burly guy who could grow a mustache, and he's got a killer mustache there, you can see.
Dude, put that thing away!
I feel bad for William Howard Taft too. I mean, just a little overweight, a little on the chunkier side, got stuck in the White House bathtub a couple of times, never had to be lifted out and have a small swimming pool inserted. That's not true. But William Howard Taft being fat was unfair. He hated being president. It was such a laboriously difficult job for him that he gained 100 pounds while he was in office and then lost a bunch of his weight. He became a Supreme Court justice, the only Supreme Court justice who was a former president. Really interesting guy. Never got a fair deal.
They're like children here!
What started out as a fun dream turned into a horrible, brutal nightmare.
You've noticed how it's SpongeBob in the same episode where he's at war with his Washington, then it was Ulysses S. Grant, now it's Woodrow Wilson taking America into the Great War, or as I like to think, World War II. You may call it World War I, so.
As the winds of time change the silvery sands of these dunes to a new landscape, so let us hope that our own winds of change will change our spiritual dunes to a landscape of peace. Oh, buddy, let's never forget this lesson.
Oh my gosh. Another president dying, this one of a heart attack, so it's kind of fitting. Warren Harding was also really corrupt, so maybe when Mr. Krabs sells SpongeBob's soul, that would have been more fitting.
Look carefully at the "I really wish I weren't here right now" button.
I love these Krusty Krab like info employee video. That's such a good episode. But yeah, Calvin Coolidge, Silent Cal, actually didn't mind being president, but left it because his son died when he was in the office and he was struggling with that and with heart disease that would later take his life. But yeah, Calvin Coolidge kind of had a rough time of it.
Let's see what the damage is. Only $10,000. That's not so bad. I'll just subtract it from today's profit. And there's no money in.
It's definitely Herbert Hoover. Go to the banks, they're empty, the Fed doesn't give him any money, all of that stuff. It's not Hoover's fault, but he didn't do enough to fix it.
Here.
You just can't wait for me to die, can you?
There's a motif of presidents dying where they just select someone dying. This is the chocolate episode. Chocolate! Yeah, Franklin Roosevelt, 4 terms in office, did so much. You could have done a war reference with World War III or World War II, whatever you want to call it. You could have done, New Deal stuff. You could have done money. Maybe the guy who's really rich. I'm trying to remember that. Yeah, so much you could have done with Franklin Roosevelt, but you chose an the old lady in the wheelchair. FDR was paralyzed with polio, and tried to hide it from the American people. Actually did pretty successfully. You could never get away with that today. Just when you think it can't get dark with the FDR one, you've got Harry Truman and literally an explosion of an atom bomb, referencing Truman, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, blowing up those Japanese cities to end the war in the Pacific. Dark. So dark.
First rule, no talking.
Because Dwight Eisenhower was a general. He actually never led forces into battle, but it does kind of fit. I do like this one. Because I love this episode.
Does that mean
Eisenhower wasn't that mean. That was more of a Patton thing, slapping soldiers around.
Demonstrated by this driver, he has enough boat smarts to use his seatbelt and avoid a serious casualty.
Oh. That's darker than Harry Truman. It's hard to do Kennedy. Maybe somebody really handsome, maybe handsome Squidward again. I don't know, but they probably shouldn't have gone there.
I want to wake up in Texas.
Lyndon Johnson's claim to fame is being in Texas. I mean, maybe even they're fighting in the jungle in that one episode, or they're going through the jungle with the Magic Conch episode because of Vietnam and everything, because that's what Lyndon Johnson's known for, pulling the U.S. deeper and deeper into Vietnam. But Texas, because he's from Texas. It's funny because he's from Texas. You get it that he's from Texas, right?
I miss those wide open skies. I miss my 20 acres, barbecues and pecan pies. Oh, why?
Wait there, dude. Please, I'm begging
SpongeBob movie again.
you. I ain't a crook. Ask anyone.
Richard Nixon, I'm not a crook. This one is like right on the money. Because Nixon did so much as president. This being the one thing he's remembered for is almost a tragedy, but it's not really a tragedy. You want to cry until you realize just how much of political power Nixon abused.
For me.
By sheer coincidence.
True. Gerald Ford was only president because Spiro Agnew was brought up on I think money laundering or bribery or tax evasion, one of those things, and then had to step down. So they made Ford the minority leader of the House for the Republicans, longtime congressman, vice president, and then Nixon resigns a year later, and Ford becomes president. And by sheer coincidence, he ends up being a decent president, actually.
I want peanuts.
Jimmy Carter. Peanuts, he's a peanut farmer, get it? Something like that. Maybe having the two guys from the gas station in the SpongeBob movie with the southern accents might have fit. Yeah.
That vouch for me.
Wow, these
By
are
sheer coincidence.
I want peanuts.
Actors.
Ronald Reagan, the actors one, obviously really famous actor, TV screen, head of a Screen Actors Guild, enters politics, really conservative, becomes president, kind of the great communicator, using that charm and slickness to get himself to the White House.
Don't you dare take the name of Texas in vain!
It's like 8 presidents are from Virginia, 8 are from Ohio. There's presidents from all over the country, but the Texas presidents, Johnson and Bush, are getting it a double barrel. I guess that's the best thing that you can fit with George Bush Sr. That one's a little inappropriate. Reference to Bill Clinton and his affair with Monica Lewinsky. If you know, you know.
Don't you have to be stupid somewhere else?
I remember when I was a kid, George W. Bush was president, and everybody knew that he was dumb. It was that whole thing. The media made fun of him for being dumb. The late night comics, George W. Bush was seen kind of as a stupid child, and Dick Cheney was the evil supervillain. And it's not really fair to George W. Bush. He was a nice guy. He was actually decently educated. It was the way he talked. He's from the South. He had the accent, and Texas again. And he said nuclear instead of nuclear, and that's what got him in a lot of trouble with the media, who they were merciless to the guy. And obviously his decisions like the Iraq War backfiring and the economy collapsing made him far dumber than anything he ever said.
Not until 4.
Long, tan, and handsome.
Charismatic Barack Obama, who ends up being kind of just meh. That one's a little too accurate, but not fully inaccurate. Obama was an incredibly gifted and talented speaker. I remember when he came up out of nowhere, just kind of dazzle everybody with that ability to speak and make his points clear and work for political progress and stuff like that. Yeah.
Meep.
Whoa. I'd better build a wall.
It's the General Army one again, but mentioning the wall makes sense. They had Monroe with this. They had Washington with this. They had, I think that was Washington. They had Ulysses S. Grant with the general thing, and now they've got Donald Trump building the wall. This one, I mean, we're getting so close to the modern, I don't even have to explain it.
Just in case King Pinky gets any funny ideas.
Ha! Old? What was I
love this
thinking?
episode.
I ain't old, huh?
It definitely says
Don't worry, Pops. We're almost across the street.
Hey, get away from me. I don't need no snot-nosed little...
kind of Biden, especially now what we know that his body was shutting down and he was sick, perhaps even terminally so, as president, knew about it and said nothing.
Sorry you had to see that.
It is even funnier the second time.
It is getting funnier and crazier the second time. So yeah, just a great video. It's fun to do this kind of stuff, and I really, really think you guys should go and check this video out, check out the channel, all of that stuff. This one always makes me laugh, and they end on a strong note with Trump and the Neptune thing again. And once again, you've got the non-consecutive president, just like Grover Cleveland. They used the Neptune episode with the great John O'Hurley using his really, really famous voice from Seinfeld, you know. But yeah, Donald Trump, that's where we are right now. So it's an nice, up-to-date one. I think he uploaded it at the end of the last year, so right before Trump took office. But yeah, that is basically that, and I really hope you enjoyed the video and the content. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. I upload every Friday and Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and live streams, Q&As are Fridays and Saturdays at 6 Eastern, and Sundays the live stream lectures at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow me on Instagram, X, and all that other great stuff. And yeah, check out the other long-form videos that I have here on this channel as we are growing. And if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, leave a comment, some feedback, and I hope you guys have a really great week. I'll see you again soon. Take care, and remember, love history.